And notice the people that gathered there, the Parthians. And it's interesting that it starts with the Parthians because that's where the Magi came from. They came from this kingdom of Parthia, which is now the area of Iran. The Medes, the Elamites, dwellers in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia would be where the Tigris, the Euphrates, where Babylon and Assyria were. And in Judea, Cappadocia, in Pontus, that would be the area of Turkey now, and Asia. They were really from far off. Phrygia, Pamphylia, in Egypt, representing Africa, and in the parts of Libya, again, Africa, about Cyrene. And the strangers of Rome, so from all the way from Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes, Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of God. So yes, an incredible miracle, an incredible witness to the world, because what happens is these people, obviously, they go back to their countries and they take these experiences back so that when later the apostles arrive, they're open to Christ because they've heard it from their own people. So like at the birth, God made the birth of Christ known, so the death of Christ and the story of Christ and the gospel of Christ was being spread abroad here.
Yes. So just to add, these people were all gathered and was in the area for Pentecost, right? The holy day.
Right.
So they were all there because of that. And that's when this wonderful thing happened. So just to know that they were all there for the same reason is good to know.
They were there mainly for unleavened bread and for Passover and whatever. And the idea, obviously, we don't have necessarily any proof of all of this, but because of the incredible events that took place at the resurrection, which was 7 weeks earlier, and because there'd been the resurrection of these people, I mean, to physical life and the opening of the tomb and the thundering and all of that at the crucifixion, that people decided to stay behind to see what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if they stayed the 7 weeks, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a continuation of this incredible period of miracles and just unbelievable events that were taking place.
All right, so we're going to end here when the wise men went back to their own country, and we'll pick back up next week. We learned a lot this week, starting off when Herod was upset and wanted to hear about the king, the wise men coming, following the star to find Jesus that was probably a toddler with his mother in their home, and them coming to worship him. And we learned what worship means and how we're supposed to worship the one true only God. And then that brought us to learning about when they went back to their own country. And we learned this week and last week that Parthia was the country that they went to, but then they all gathered together with a lot of other people and were there for Pentecost and how that all comes together. So very insightful, adding a lot of details to really understand the story and how it's all connected with God's plan. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next week when we will continue our study of Matthew.
Thanks, Katrina, for joining us, and I'm pleased to be with you and do this Bible study. So get into your Bible, and if you have any questions, let us know. We're ready to answer them for Matthew.
Yes.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Uncover the mystery of Adam and Eve's nakedness. Unravel the ambiguous connection between the Hebrew term for naked and the serpent's subtlety. Join us for this free mini-course and gain a profound new perspective on biblical Hebrew. TheExplanation.com/naked